Welcome to Spaghetti on the Wall, where we throw ideas, see what sticks, and nurture those that do. I'm your host, Armando Leduc, an actor, entrepreneur, and coach, giving you insights that light up your world. We're here to explore the realms of business, marketing, and life, serving up a shot of inspiration with every episode. Ready to make ideas stick and grow them into something great? Let's dive in. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on when you are consuming this podcast. Can you hear my dog?
Sure can. He says hello.
Hey, let me try it one more time. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on when you're consuming this podcast. Welcome back. Another episode, Spaghetti on the Wall. We've got Malentina in the house. Welcome. I met you at a table read with Kevin White, and you were telling me that you were also a singer and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. What's she up to? And then I saw you perform in Lafayette, and I was like, this is good stuff, right? Because I have a Latin band too, and I was like, oh wow, more people in the space. And you're an actress too, and I was like, very cool. And so I was like, and I've followed you for about a year or so, and love what you're doing. And you've got an album out, and I was like, let me take a listen. Loved it. Was really, and I'm the kind of, and we just spoke about this, I'm the kind of person that when I listen to a song, like I have to hear it. If it's a song I like, right, I'll listen to it on repeat to like absorb it, right? I gotta hear the drums. I gotta hear the rhythm. I never listen to the lyrics first. Do you listen to lyrics first, or?
It kind of depends, actually. There have been times where I listen to the lyrics first, and that's what gets me. Or sometimes it's just the vibe in general, and then I get more curious. It depends.
Yeah, I guess there's a song by Ben Platt called "Grow as We Go." Have you heard it?
No.
It's a good song. It's a good song. But that was one of those songs that you like listen to the lyrics and it's like, oh wow, beautiful song. But anyway, your song is just, it's got this like mysterious dark energy at the beginning, and then it rolls into the salsa, and then it's got the mambo, and it's a little bit of cha-cha-cha. And I was like, man, this is like, my question for you is, and I got to get the backstory, but my question for you, are you a musician in terms of like, do you know how to play piano? Are you like plucking this stuff out, or are you singing it to a musician? How is that process for you?
I am not an instrumentalist. I took a lot of piano lessons, and I write my music with a piano, but I'm talking about 2-3 finger method.
Got it.
I don't play whenever I was kind of a terrible student. I used to like take piano lessons. I took him as a kid, like maybe around 8 years old. And I learned really fast. And I remember my teacher, he just loved when I would show up, but I was always a songwriter. So what would happen is I would start getting it, but because I didn't have the ability to actually be well versed on the piano, I would tell my instructor to sit down and do what I was doing so that I could finish the song. He used to find it really funny, but he always wanted me to learn, and I just didn't have the patience to. And I let it go. I never looked at it again until maybe 2016. I got back and I took lessons, and again I did a recital. It was very fun, and I was still very basic level. But once again, I started learning, like I would get ideas to write a song, and I would just lose my patience because what I couldn't do with my hands. So I once again let it go. So I have not given up, but what I've done is I'll write a melody. I write all my melodies and all my lyrics and the structure, which is very helpful because then I'll go to a musician and I'll sit. And I've been very lucky to work with guys that will listen to every single thing I'm saying. And so they'll put it on paper.
I thought the piano intro was that Ronald?
That's Ronald. Yeah. He did write that part, actually.
Dude's a beast.
He is a beast. He wrote that part. Most of the horns I always write.
Okay.
The majority, like the horns in whenever the mambo starts, that was a line that I would always tell people to like. I remember I have videos of that in the studio of me being like, da-na-na-na-na-na-na, But the guys were so cool, like and good, like they were really good in terms that they would listen to it and actually mimic it
Yeah.
entirely. And I can always tell when a note is off, so I'd be like, oh, almost. Da, 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 da. And so, yeah.
I love, I love that. Give me the so I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. Give me the 2 minute version on like how you got to where you got.
Okay. So I'm original from Puerto Rico and I went to LSU. That's kind of my Louisiana connection. Although my grandmother, she lived in Puerto Rico all her life, but she is original from Baton Rouge. So that really is my Louisiana connection. I graduated with a degree in interior design. I was always a creative kid, but I always knew I didn't want to do that. But I found a job in Lafayette next to LSU, proximity, and I was miserable. I didn't like it at all. I knew I wasn't going to do that. But I'm in Lafayette where music and culture are very, very big and accessible. There's Festival International, all these things. And I'm meeting all these musicians. And I had the wild hair one day to go and audition for a play. I had never acted before. I get the lead in this play. I was playing Babe Botrell in Crimes of the Heart. So I'm this Puerto Rican girl that's new in town, and I'm playing this Southern Mississippi girl. And it was really good. And I met the musicians that were in the audience, and they invited me to be in their band. I had never sung like, in a band in a setting like that before. And the rest is history. I was 22. I quit my architecture firm job. Like nothing aligned. But I felt like I had finally found what I wanted to do. And that's what I have been doing.
You seem to be a visionary type. Are you an idea person? Like 30
I
ideas?
am.
And I struggle with this too, right? Or it's the blessing, right? It's a blessing to have these ideas. How are you sort of discerning which ideas you want to focus on and which ones you're ignoring? Do you have a back burner? Are all of these ideas swirling at the same time? How are you managing your ideas?
I feel like this is a daily debate in my head to have a back plan. I really do debate this every single day. Now, it's important to know, though, that I have given up. There have been periods. So I would say my journey really started in 2015. So it's been 10 years. Now it's 2025. And I gave up. There were years between then that I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. This is not real. But I never stopped wondering what if. And I feel it inside of me that I do have this like gift. I do have this ability, this talent. When I look at the album that I wrote, I cannot believe that I wrote it. And I wrote it. I wrote that album.
Yeah.
So no one taught me how to do that. To me, it's something that I have to do because it's what my mission is, that's where I've gotten to believe. And while I do have some like entrepreneurship endeavors and I do think about that, I'm not giving it up. Like this, people ask me what my 5-year plan is, and I'm like, I'm living it right now. There is no 5-year plan. Like, what's my plan? Well, right now I have to finish this album, have to put it out there. I have to tour with it. I have to make some music videos, and that's going to lead me to the next thing, which right now I don't know what it is, but there will be a next thing because that's logical to me.
Yeah.
So,
no.
Yeah.
Sure. I have that issue too, right? It's like, man, I had these ideas in my head. I got music ideas, and I got this concept called first world blues problem, where it's all like, my iPhone is cracked. I can't get no Wi-Fi. It's all first world problem blues, right?
That's cool.
Yeah, it's fun. But like I have all of these ideas and I'm like, I can't get to all of these ideas, so I'm always curious to see other people that have a bunch of ideas that they're all like, okay, this one first and then this one and then this one. Cause like every day I've got an idea and I'm like, that's it. And we're going to go with this. And it's going to be the most amazing idea ever. And I'm like, hold on, I can't work on everything.
Right? Well, but you can't. So coincidentally, I started a blog yesterday. Like I published my first
Oh,
blog post
good for you.
yesterday. And it's actually about that. Like I called it Overture because it was really a test. I've been wanting to do this and it was like kind of a test run and the prequel to everything. But and I wrote it. It was like stream of consciousness. I had just worked at a restaurant because that's one of my many jobs. I worked at a restaurant. I came home. I wrote it. And it starts with I don't know how I'm going to do this. And then I go through the introduction, what I told you in 2 minutes, like about my journey thus far. And at the end, I'm saying like, you know what? I don't know how I'm going to continue on, but it never mattered. I didn't know how I was going to do all the things that I'm doing now back in 2015, but
Right.
somehow here I am. So I don't need to know. It's just a matter of am I going to continue to do this or not?
So your concept is it's happening now. This is what I'm inspired to do. And that's what I'm going to start working on.
Yeah. Yeah. I find this is really cool. I find that my world has always been developing. Like there are a lot of songs and visuals that I have had for years and years. And it's cool because when you hold on to these things you really like, you develop your style. It's like I didn't know that was my style, but I've held on to these things and I've brought them with me into new projects and into all these new things that I'm doing. And it just like this album, I never in a million years would have thought that actually I would be singing this contemporary salsa. Never. Why? Because I never had a background to do that. It's not all the music I listen to, but I have styles. And you said it. I've always been I like dark, I like hardcore, I like soft, I like dramatic. And somehow me collecting experiences landed on me writing this extremely original thing because I can't pinpoint anything that's like it. So it's like you gotta do it all. And somehow you're gonna start finding the connecting dots.
How do you stay so free in that space, right? That creative space where you're in flow. How are you finding that and how are you staying in that?
Yeah, I mean, I get out of it. There are days where I'm like, I'm never gonna be able to write another song. I don't have it in me. Or, uh, my last acting gig was so bad. I'm never gonna get hired again. Like I have those, but I I feel like again, this is something I so genuinely want to do that I have to believe that this want is not it is pure. It's something that is pure within me. And because I love it so much, I can try again and again and again. Like I'm never going to just stay on the stream. I used to sail actually in Puerto Rico. Like I did single sail boats. And the wind isn't always great. But that doesn't matter because you have a sailboat and you know how to control the sail. But there are days where the wind is just not cooperating. But that doesn't mean that I give up sailing. Like, no, it's going to be a little harder that day pulling but whatever. You
Yeah.
just,
I love the
maybe
analogy.
that day I get on the dock earlier than usual. And I have like flipped and I'm in the middle of the ocean flipped and I'm like, oh, here we go. Like flip the boat back, get the water out. But I'm still sailing. That's
Yeah.
kind of how I see it.
Do you think that, and it's funny that you said like the first project that you auditioned for, you got the lead role. And I did when I was in high school, I auditioned for a play. I'd never done it before. I was Danny Zuko in Grease. And like that just kind of launched it. Right. And my question for you is, because after that, I was like, this is my path. This is what I'm going to do. Like, it just like drove me. Do you think that had you not gotten the lead role and that it was like kind of so easy to get that you that would not have been the path for you? Do you ever think about that?
No, no, because I never expected to get the lead role. And I've done a lot of work. Not theater, I usually get the lead, but I think it's because Lafayette is not as big. But I've auditioned for a lot of movies that I have not gotten. Like and commercials. I mean, I audition a lot, and I haven't gotten a lot. But I mean, I want to do it, like, so what? It's just how it is. And it sucks. Like, there are days where I say, "Oh, I don't want to do this anymore. This really sucks." And I will go through this. It my emotional resilience has to be like so high because I don't coast. I'm like, this is everything. I'm the best in the world. And I suck and I cannot believe this is my life and I don't know how delusional I have to be. Like, I'll go like this.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. And trust me, I went through it in my 20s and 30s where I was like pursuing acting like at like warp speed. And that's all it was. It was like no after no after no after no. Yes. No after no
Yeah.
after no after no. Yes. And like now, man, when I get an audition, I feel like I find it to be a nuisance. Unless it's like something that I'm like, love it. I'm in. I really want to do this. Other than that, I'm turning auditions down like left and right because I'm just like, I don't feel like jumping through hoops. But is it because I'm at a point in my career where I'm like, I don't need it? You know what I mean? That I'm like trying to chase it so hard, or have I lost that love and feeling for it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I grapple with that sometimes because I'm like, do I really love acting? You know what I mean? Or do I hate jumping through the hoops of the audition process because I really fucking dislike it, right? Like,
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. I actually, man, I haven't been getting a lot of like narrative auditions lately. All I get is commercials. It seems like that's all there is. But I'll tell you this, like, I love it so much that I just, like I said, I have to believe that there is a path for me. Like, and that these failures are shaping me because I do feel like I get better and better and better, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I give up a lot. Like, believe me, I say I'm not doing this again so often, but I genuinely love it. And I think there is something, a lot of actors, they feel like they lack their self acceptance. And that's why they go for acting because they want someone else to say they're good. That's the day I decided, that's the day I learned I was meant for this because I don't need anybody to tell me how good I am. Because I don't have to be very good right now. The project, the experience is going to tell me what choices I'm going to make. There's no right or wrong. But I caught myself going down that drain and also taking acting classes where that's what I would sense in the room is that all the other actors in the room, all they wanted was for the teacher to tell them they were doing good. And in my mind, I was like, no, I don't care that the teacher didn't like what I was doing. This is what my character would do. Period. End of story. And so that's when I was like, I'm in it. I'm in it.
Hey, you're wise beyond your years because a lot of people a lot of people don't have that, right? I think a lot of actors are chasing
Yeah.
the validation. And I'll tell you, patient number 0 right here, right, was I always was trying to chase validation, which is why I love the acting because I could be somebody else. And if somebody
Mhm.
was like, "Oh, I didn't like that performance," be like, "Great, it wasn't Armando, it was this character." And so it was constantly like chasing that thing. And it wasn't until I started like podcasting and creating content on social media that like I kind of got out of that and I was like, "Oh yeah, I can live authentically me and there's nothing wrong with me." Because I was also the black sheep of the family, right? So it was like there was always like, "Oh, Armando, why do you think that way? Armando, why is it like that?" Right? But did you also grow up in this environment where people were like, "Malentina, why are you always going?" Because I can imagine it's not just a now thing. It was like from the beginning. You were like, "Hey, let's go, let's create, let's do something." Blah 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 blah.
Yes. I was always in the talent show. I was always organizing dance routines in school. And I mean, it's kind of funny. I was kind of like a little producer when I was, and I went to school in Puerto Rico all my life. And I was kind of like a little producer in my school because I remember I would go to the principal and be like, so for the first day of school, I was thinking like we could do a little introduction and like a group of us would do a dance and then, announcements would start. But they were all about it. They were like, yeah, as long as there's no profanity, as long as you don't wear this and that. And I would be like, yeah, okay, fine. So I would like invent these gigs with my friends.
That's awesome.
And we would do like there was no dance team. There used to be, and then they didn't have it anymore. There weren't cheerleaders. So I kind of invented like the creative team. And before like school functions, we would do some kind of like opening show. And then like the school function would happen. So I was always doing that. And my dad, he's very supportive of me now, but he would get so uncomfortable because of course like it's his girl in front of everyone, and I would always like we would dance like reggaeton, or even though we were following school protocol, like I'm in front of everyone dancing seductively in a 13-year-old way, like not really like what I would do now. But he would still be like, oh my God, do you really have to do that every time? Why don't you get into sports? Like he would always ask me that. I'm like, no, I'm just not that girl. So yeah, they were always trying to lead me into a direction that I did follow and I fulfilled because I'm like that. But I always knew I wasn't going to do that. I basically got my validation by completing my 4-year degree at LSU. And once I graduated, I really was like, okay, now I'm going to figure out what I want. And my dad was like, what? And it was kind of a difficult conversation with my family, but my dad came to see me when I did Chicago. There was a rendition of Chicago the musical here in Lafayette, and I was Velma Kelly, and I was born to play that role. I don't care what anybody says. Like I was born to play that role. And my stepmom said that my dad would not stop crying. And Chicago's a really funny musical. Like there's no drama. There's no seriousness. It's a satire. And my dad was crying the whole show. And when he came to like greet me after the show, he gave me the biggest hug and he was bawling. And obviously I started crying too. And he was like, you were amazing. And since then, he's always just asked me how I'm doing, what shows I have in line. He's just always been he's been very supportive.
Do you find that beautiful story? Do you find that when you finish a project, that it kind of doesn't have the that the birth of the idea has? Do you have that?
No, actually, I think it's the opposite. Because when I have the idea, it's exciting, but the end result blows my mind. I'm like, wow, I had this idea. I never thought it would turn into this. And so I almost every time I've been like, whoa, that's crazy that this got to that. I think I would say 99% of the time.
Really?
And I say 99% because I can't think of a time where the outcome didn't blow my mind as opposed to the inception.
I guess I just don't have when I see a project finished, right? Like when I finish a song or whatever and I put it out, I don't have as much joy as I do when I first come up with the idea and like creating it. And I feel like when I have the idea, I see it already done, right? Like I saw the birth of it, I saw the life of it, I saw what the end result is. Not that at the end of the results ever what I had envisioned, right? Like just like you said, like it's definitely its own thing, but it's like wow. And it definitely has this like sort of, oh yeah. But for me, it just maybe it's this feeling that, oh wow, it's done, right? And like it's this sort of drop off that I have that I'm like, oh, okay, well, it doesn't, it's done now. And I mean, I guess you can like promote it and market it and everything like that, but I don't know. It always felt like to me that once I finished the project, that there was just this, all right, and I'm on to the next thing, right? So I didn't know if
Mhm.
you felt that way too.
Maybe you had some expectations when you publish your work or share your work. Maybe that's because I feel like expectations might do that, you know?
Yeah,
They may not be exactly. But man, no, like Diamantes is out. I'm not a famous singer, so it doesn't have 20 million streams. But man, I hear that song and I'm like, that song is so dope. That song is so dope. Like, I'm so glad. Like, in fact, what I do is I imagine in my world, I'm like, anybody that hears this song and doesn't know who this girl is, they're gonna ask. They have to ask who's playing this because it's so good. Like, I feel like it's so good. I'm so proud of it. And actually, so my debut album is recorded, but it's still in post production. So I only have 2 songs from that album out, La Mala and Diamantes. I'm already writing the second album. Me and Ronald have already sat down and we already have 2 songs in the books because, you know, I want to keep creating
yeah,
and I want to share it. I don't make stuff to just for just me. I've always hated that idea, like do stuff for just you. And I'm like, no, that's not fun at all. Like try performing to an empty room. That's not fun at all. You know, like I need at least one audience member. And so I do things to put out. So I look forward to putting it out. Like I can't wait for the album to come out. And I almost can't wait for the new stuff to come out because I think the new stuff is even better than the album, you know?
yeah. No, I mean, look, I enjoy seeing it, right? Like I enjoy seeing it, but I love that you have just as much fervor and love for the end result that you did for like for the inception, which is great. So what is the
And it's not easy. I need to point out that Diamantes had about 12 mixing rounds.
okay?
And at round 9, I almost gave up. At round 9, I almost was like, "Nope, we're never gonna get it, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be, and I'm gonna put it out there and whatever." Like, nothing I say is absolute. And it took the mixing guy, Chad Viator, here in Lafayette, and the mastering guy, Aaron Thomas. They both were very, very cool and supportive. And they were like, Michelle, it's okay. It's okay. Let's get it right. Don't publish it yet. Like, we want you to be happy. Let's go back to square one. Let's see what we can do. Like, they were so, I don't know, empathetic with me because I mean, imagine 9 times going through and be like, it's not right. It's not right. And it
Okay.
wasn't until the 12th round. So, you know,
It's difficult.
that's why when it's out, I'm very proud of it. I'm like, yeah, that was a lot of hard work.
Yeah, no, and as you should. By the way, need to get those numbers from you because I need sound design for Life on Bourbon. So what does you said you're gonna finish the album and then you're gonna go tour it. What's the plan there? How are you gonna go tour it? Where are you gonna go?
Okay, so I say touring very lightly because, again, I am not rich and famous just yet. But so I want to, well, there's a few steps. I am conceptualizing music videos because that's another thing I love to do. And sometimes, maybe that's why I'm still so excited. I'll write music because I'm thinking of how cool the music video would be. It's like I'm making the soundtrack to this short that I want to do.
Right.
So I already have a two-parter that I want to do, which is the music video of La Mala with Diamantes. I've always imagined those two together. So that's going to be in the works. I just got in contact with a girl here, Megan Constantin. She's been a touring Cajun musician for years. She's been very well known. I mean, she's seen the world in this band Timon. And I contacted her yesterday asking if she had any suggestions for a touring or a booking agent since she's done so many of these things. I see my music because it's salsa and it's a big band. I see this can be playing in world music festivals, Latin festivals all over the world, because all over the world they have these. And so I was like, you know what? Instead of me like going and thinking that I'm going to be some pop star and going to Coachella, there are a lot of music festivals in the world. Why don't I go and get a booking agent so that I can still travel and get paid to perform? But I'll go to these festivals that are more about world music, like Festival International here, even Jazz Fest. You know, they're not the biggest festivals in terms of like Billboard artists, but they are festivals that pay and that are great. And so I was like, I should do that. Like, there's one in Sweden, there's one in France, Spain has them. So I just got in contact with her, and that's my tour idea. That's what I would like to do. But that's probably not going to happen until 2026 at the beginning, because I feel like that's when festivals really do start. Most of them like to go in the spring or late winter. So that's what I have. But aside from continuing to finish my songs for my album, I have a major thing happening in September. There is the biggest genre film festival in the United States called Fantastic Fest. Have you ever heard of it? It's huge. Like, when I say huge, this is huge. Like, Smile had its premiere there.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
no, like Fantastic Fest for genre. So genre is horror, cult, you know, like they're not going for the Oscars, but they're really big. Well, I produced and I acted in a movie last summer, a feature film, a 93-minute film called The Cramps, a period piece. And it's having its world premiere at Fantastic Fest.
Congrats. That's awesome.
It's so huge. We were on Deadline, we were on Variety. We even had a sales agent that was like, if you have the chance to go to Tribeca or Fantastic Fest, you choose Fantastic Fest. We were like, period, let's go.
Nice.
So that's what's happening this coming month. Like, we're almost in September.
Where's Fantastic Fest?
Austin, Texas.
Nice. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank
So you're
you.
going to go.
Thank you. I'm going to go. Yes, I'm so going to go. I wish I could go. It's very long. It's kind of like a week long. And I have a trip to Cancun planned since last year. So I'm going to go see the movie and then get on a plane and go on vacation.
Good for you. That's awesome. Where can people find you? Where can they follow you?
I'm very active on Instagram. I guess it's because it's my generation. Like, I'm a young millennial, so it's just where I'm at. Instagram, I am starting to get really interested in YouTube. So YouTube is going to be populating very soon. And I just started my blog at malentina.com.
Very cool. I appreciate you coming on. Love what you're doing. I'm following. I'm like, all right, that's fire. Love it. You know, and it inspires me when I see other people that are like doing things and they're driven and they're like, you know what, we're putting out this stuff, and you know, you're irreverent, right? And I love the irreverence. So congratulations. Keep it up. I see nothing but, you know, big things for you in the future.
Thank you so much. This was so fun.
Heck yeah. And that was Spaghetti on the Wall, brought to you by Leduc Entertainment. For all of your production needs, podcasts, videos, we got you. Keep watching, keep listening, and we'll see y'all next time.